Hey everybody, welcome back to Maker's Playground HQ. I am Izzy and it is Thursday, and you know what that means. Thursday means we're talking about tools, and in my hero announcer voice, we have 5 tools that'll make you drool. First up on the menu today is the Accuscribe. This is a product by Fastcap. I've been using these for 20 years and they've made a few improvements over the years, and it is an absolute amazing little tool. If you don't have one of these in the shop or aren't familiar with it, it's about time you did get familiar with it. So as you can see, this works as a compass. So it has a little metal point here which is adjustable, so you can move this in and out, and you can use it just as a regular compass as you would on any regular compass. That makes sense, sort of. So you can tighten them down here with these 3 positions so you can get different positions. You know, that's not the most exciting thing about this. There's lots of other things that can be used for, especially in the cabinet industry, but more importantly in our shops we can use it for things like flattening chair legs. So if you're building a chair and the chair has a little wobble on it and you need to take off a certain amount, you can put the chair on a flat surface and just adjust this to the height or the amount that needs to be taken off, and just slide it around the leg, and that'll mark out that position, so then you can come back with your handsaw or other tool and cut that out. So another nice thing about it, instead of coming to just a point here, it has a flat side on the inside as well. So if you needed to follow the contour, mark out a contour around a round surface or an uneven surface, that works really well as well. So you can adjust it, again, you can adjust it here and here, so you can really dial in that angle and get what you're looking for. But with that flat surface there, it makes it really easy to follow a contour like that, or, you know, follow it on the straight as well. That's super easy. Alright, so a couple of little features on it. It's got a built-in pencil sharpener, which is nice. Nice brass knurls, and it's just one of those tools that you always find a use for around the shop. It's really easy to find uses for this thing in lots of different places. So that's why it's our #1 tool for the day, the Accuscribe. Links in the description box below. Next up is one of my favorite tools because this tool has a story. This is called the Bionic Wrench, made here in the US. It's made up in Pennsylvania, and it's just an adjustable wrench. So if you're doing different size bolts like this, now I have a complete set of tools for wrenching on bolts, but if I just want to grab something quick to make a quick adjustment, I don't have to search out what size I'm looking for. I can just grab this and it works on anything from a 5/8 bolt down to a 1/4 inch bolt, which is really cool. Now the Bionic Wrench was actually used to be sold at Craftsman until Craftsman ripped it off from the guy who actually invented it and changed a couple things about it and started having it made overseas. That was really kind of a sad thing to see, and it's one of those sad stories that we hear about from time to time of big companies ripping off the little guy. So I love this tool. I want to always support these guys, so if you're ever out looking for them, the Bionic Wrench with the little green on it, that's the original, that's the one you get. They're of course on Amazon. Links in the description box below. Next up on the cool tool that won't break the bank is this little fella. Now, I know some of you know right off what this is, and I know there's a lot of you going, huh? This is a spindle sander of sorts that you attach to a drill. So you can take your your regular battery power drill or corded drill, attach it to the end of this, and use it for contour sanding on parts that have, the shapes on them. And to be honest with you, I use this as much, if not more, than I use my bench-mounted spindle sander. Over that thing over there, yeah. Just because it's super easy to use. So you throw your drill on it, tighten it down, and you're ready to go. And the nice thing about it obviously is that it's portable, especially if you're doing, like I see all the people out there in the world doing slab work. This makes a really easy, quick, short job of getting around some of those contours on the live edge of slabs. So I don't have a live edge slab here to show you today, but I'm gonna demo how effective it is on a piece of alder that I have right over here. And of course, don't forget to have your sanding stick ready when you're using it. So I actually made a video about how you can make these yourself a very long time ago. We're talking like 6 years ago. But since I found this product and it's pretty inexpensive, I've just been using this. Now you can get different size, things for it, the rubber parts and the different sleeves for it in different grits. So it can be just as versatile, in a lot of cases more versatile than the regular spindle sander. Yeah, I love this thing. Now, as long as we're talking about sanding and shaping, I would be amiss if I did not mention these cuts all files. So I know you guys have seen the big discs. Brad, would you hand me one of those big discs up there on top of the thing so I can show them? So this is a big shaping disc that Cuts All make that goes on your angle grinder, but they also make these handheld files that are crazy insane. And I think the thing I love about them the most is that they're multi-directional. You're not stuck going in one direction. You can, when you actually can shape on the back and forth motion, which makes them twice as fast as a typical, shaper. And they have different selections as well. One of the things that is really nice about them is they have a heavy and a fine, and they have different contours and shapes to them, so you can kind of pick and choose what works best for you. I find that with the CNC and with a lot of the intricate small stuff I do, that this little file probably gets used, I would say venture to use the most. The second one is obviously the large aggressive file to get the job done quick. So for all you guys in the George Nakashami and Sam Moolah furniture, hope you're paying attention. This goes really fast. So this is not the first time I've talked about this tape measure on my show. In fact, I think in the last 7 years, this will be the third time that I've mentioned it. This is the lefty righty from Fastcap. And as far as I'm concerned, it is the best tape measure for woodworkers and cabinet makers, period. The thing that makes it so handy is you see both on the right and left, no matter what side of the tape you're looking at, the numbers are lined up for you. And if you're a cabinet maker, you know what a case of the onesies is. A case of the onesies is where you either mark the piece 1 inch too long or 1 inch too short, and then you cut it. And it is almost always because you're reading the tape backwards that happens. This gets rid of the case of the onesies. So this one is, again, one of those things that I'm not 100%, I feel a little silly about, but it is probably the best mechanical pencil for a shop. I use a lot of these here in the shop. Now, that being said, I typically don't use it for stuff like building Adirondack chairs, or, this is one of those things that I use specifically for like really detailed work, fine furniture, that kind of thing, especially on parts that have already been sanded, aren't roughs on. And now the nice thing about this is if you look really close at the end, you'll see that you don't see the point of it, but when you push on the lever, that little metal point that holds the lead comes out, and then you have access to the lead. And it's just very comfortable in the hand, especially if you're a big-handed guy like I am. Now the beauty of it is when you push the lever here on the back, that disappears into here. So like a lot of mechanical pencils, that they're not getting snagged on your pocket or just getting hit and then bent, and then once that happens, the pencil is pretty much junk. So that has that little safety protection mechanism. The other thing I like about it is, for those of you who use different leads in your pencils, on the side here, if you look really close, it has markings so you can tell which lead you have in that pencil. So you can have like a softer lead or a harder lead depending on what you're doing, or you can even put a red or a white lead in for stuff like writing on walnut. So it's just nice to know if you have more than one, in which my case I do. It's nice to know which lead happens to be in that pencil. Ah, shit. Let's turn that over. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm sure there's something in here that maybe you guys haven't seen before, so I hope you found it useful. Again, every Thursday, new tool review videos. We'll get better at doing these, not review videos, but show and tell videos. We'll get better at these as we go along and get a little bit more programmed, I guess. But we do appreciate you watching, and if you enjoyed this video, you know the routine. Thumbs up, go subscribe, all the stuffs. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you do get notified when we get a new video up. Until then, we'll see you later.